Do you have shoulder blade pain that you can't seem to fix with exercises and stretches? Maybe you've tried rehab exercises, strengthening exercises, different kinds of stretches. Maybe you've even had adjustments or massage done, or maybe you've even tried pain medications, pain relievers, or even cortisone shots, and nothing has fixed your shoulder blade pain. Now, if that's the case, then stick around, because in this video, I'm going to show you 3 exercises that actually work that can help relieve your shoulder blade pain. And a little bit later, I'm going to share one secret neuro training hack that can help decrease pain and improve shoulder mobility in seconds. I'm Kevin Yates, and for the last 25 plus years, I've been helping men over 40 conquer chronic shoulder, lower back, and knee pain without medications or surgery, using neuro training tips, techniques, and tools. So now let's dive into the 3 exercises to help relieve your shoulder blade pain. Exercise number 1 is called thoracic glides. We're gonna take your thumbs and you're gonna hook them either into your front pockets, into your belt, or into the waistband of your pants. Now I'm gonna turn around so you can see how I'm doing this, but basically what we're gonna do, it's like if you had your hand right here at your chest, okay? One way we can move is we can push our chest into the hand. So if I'm like here and I push my chest out into my hand, you'll see my shoulders kind of move back a little bit. I'm not pulling them back. It's just when I push my chest a little forward, the shoulder blades move back, all right? And then if I do the opposite by collapsing my chest around my hand, then my shoulder blades pull forward. So I push my chest out, my shoulder blades move back, and I collapse my chest around my hand and my shoulder blades pull forward. So what it looks like here is I push my chest out, my shoulders move back, I collapse around my hand and my shoulder blades pull forward. Here's back, here's forward, all right? And that's how we got it. Practice that, pause this video, and practice that for a little bit until you get familiar with it, and then start this video again. So once we've got that down, now we're gonna put it into the glide. So the glide is more than just a forward and a backward kind of pushing chest out and then collapsing around the hands. We're gonna be moving in a circle, right? Side to front to side to back. So what it's gonna look like, remember, hook your thumbs either in your front pockets, your belt, or your waistband of your pants. So it's really kind of like a circular pattern. And then I can reverse it by just doing the opposite motion. And all we're trying to do here is get those shoulder blades to move a little bit. We're not trying to pull and push and do all that, not like exercise. It's not like strength training. What we're trying to do is just create a little bit of movement. And what we're doing is we're using this to send feedback to the brain and the nervous system to be able to unlock movement. Because what happens a lot of times, the reason why we get pain is because we get stuck. We get stuck where things don't move because the brain, wherever there's this perception of threat in the body, the brain perceives some kind of threat in the body, and so it shuts down movement to that area, and we get pain because the brain does not feel safe moving that area because it perceives threat. This is where pain comes from. So whenever that happens, we lose mobility, we lose strength, and we get pain. So what we're doing is, instead of just trying to do like mobility work where we're just moving things around, we're trying to send a signal to the brain that, hey, we have this area in the body that is safe to move, and it doesn't have to hurt. We can actually move it, we can move it safely. And so what it does is it kind of calms the brain down so that the brain has a perception of safety. We can move this area, it's safe to do so, and as a result, we start to increase mobility in that area, which is a huge key in relieving shoulder blade pain, because once we get more movement, then we can start to decrease pain. Movement tends to precede pain relief, meaning that before pain goes away, we start to increase movement and mobility first. Now, I also have another video on my channel that goes a little more in depth in the tutorial and the how to perform thoracic glides. So feel free to click that link to that video. Exercise number 2 is called scapular circles. Okay, so how we're gonna perform scapular circles is we're gonna start with one arm. We're gonna hold our arm out. So I'm holding my arm forward, and maybe I'll just show from here, but first I wanna explain what we're trying to do is target movement of the shoulder blade back here. And we wanna just get it moving in 4 different directions. So if I'm holding it here, I'm keeping my arm straight. I'm not bending the elbow. I don't have the arm up here. I have it straight out in front of me, right, about shoulder height, so my hand and my shoulder are level. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going to try to take this shoulder blade and I'm going to try to pull it up. So arm is straight and I'm just moving the shoulder blade up. Then I'm going to take this same shoulder blade and I'm going to try to pull it down toward this way. So from up here, I'm going to pull it down. So again, up here toward the ear, down toward the hip. Just like that, up toward the ear, down toward the hip. Okay, so once we've got the up and the down, now we're going to add 2 other movements, which is forward and back. So with the arm straight, now what I want to do is I want to take this shoulder blade and I want to pull it forward toward the wall in front of me. So I'm going to pull it forward here with the arm straight, and then I'm going to pull that shoulder blade back. So punch it forward here, pull it back here. Punch it forward, pull it back. So then if we combined it, now I can go up, I can go down, I can go back, and I can go forward. And that's how we do the scapular circles. So before I share the 3rd exercise, real quick, if you like this video, you like the content that's being shared, and you want to know more neurotraining techniques, tips, and tools to help you relieve shoulder blade pain or any other nagging aches and pains or chronic injuries that you have, then be sure to like this video, click the subscribe button, and turn your notification settings to on. Okay, so the 3rd exercise is called shoulder circles. So now that we have the shoulder blade, we've unlocked some movement there, we've got things moving better. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we're not just moving the shoulder blade, but the shoulder blade has to move with the arm. Now there's many different ways to do it. And again, I have a more in-depth video on how you can perform shoulder circles on my channel. I will put links in the description box below to the tutorials I have on the exercises that I've shown here, so you can learn a little bit more in depth if you're interested in that. So performing shoulder circles, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the arm straight out. We'll start with it right in front. So arm goes straight out and then the thumb goes forward. It's as if you were holding a paintbrush and you're pointing it. I'm pointing it right at you with the camera. That's what we're going to do. So the arm is straight, elbows locked, and all we're doing is shoulder circles. So we're trying to make as big of a circle as we can without moving any other area of the body. So I'm not turning my body with my arm, right? I am just moving and I'm trying to make that circle as big as I can. So we just do about 4 to 5 repetitions in one direction, then turn it around and do 4 to 5 repetitions in the other direction. Now this is just one way we can do shoulder circles. There are many other directions and ways that we can apply this, but for the sake of simplicity and keeping this video within a decent time frame, that's all I'll show. So again, refer to the links in the description box below if you want to know more about this exercise. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you a neurotraining super hack that can help to decrease pain and improve mobility in the shoulder, relieve pain in the shoulder blade, and it can do it in seconds. And it's called sensory stimulation. So we're going to use our sensory stimulation using a assess, reassess model. So basically what that means is that you are going to pick a movement that maybe you have a little bit of trouble with. You're not as mobile with it, right? So it could be anything. It could be, reaching up overhead if that doesn't feel right, or, if maybe reaching forward causes you problems. Just pick a movement. We can do a simple kind of hold the arm out right here, 90-90, and work through an external rotation, right? If that gives you trouble. whatever. It could be any of those or something different. Just pick one, and then you want to move through that, and don't force anything. Just notice how you can move. Notice how far you can move. Notice what it feels like, or notice where you start to feel stiffness or pain in a movement, okay? Now again, don't force the movement. Stay out of the pain zone. Now we're going to do sensory stimulation for about 10 seconds. So what you're going to do with sensory stimulation is, I've got like whiteboard cleaner here. Doesn't matter what you use, you just need to use something, because you can't use your hand, because we're going to be working a little bit on the shoulder blade area. So something like this, it could be like a flashlight. You can use a back scrubber thing. You can use a plastic coat hanger, just something that you've got, but please don't use anything sharp, and don't use anything that's going to hurt or injure you. Now, all we're gonna do is we're just gonna gently rub all around the shoulder blade. So we're gonna rub around the top, we're gonna rub around in between the shoulder blade and the spine on the inside border, and then we're gonna rub a little bit down on the underneath and on the lateral border as best you can. So we're not doing it hard, we're just keeping it moving, and just kind of rub all around that area. Again, we're only looking to do about 10 seconds or so. So I'm doing up there, then I'm gonna go right up in the middle of the border here, and just kind of moving it. And again, you don't have to push super hard or anything, just enough to feel the movement happening there. And then I'm gonna kind of rub outside here a little bit, and just kind of do that, all right? And then you reassess the same movement you did. So how is that movement different? Is it different? Does it feel the same? Does it feel worse, or does it feel better? What you're looking for is to find something that feels better. So remember, it could either feel better because you have less pain than you did before, or maybe you don't have less pain, but you have more movement. If you're able to move further, if it feels smoother, if it just feels better, then what that is your brain and nervous system communicating that it likes that stimulus. It likes that. And when it likes it, it's going to start to allow a little bit more movement to happen. And remember that if we improve how we move, that is the key to decreasing pain. So now what do you do if you've tried these 3 exercises and none of them help fix your shoulder blade pain, none of them have decreased the pain, none of them have helped improve your shoulder movement? Well, that's all right. That just means that you haven't identified the correct category that's causing your shoulder blade pain. So if that's the case, be sure to watch this video, and I'll see you there.